Hey guys, it's me, Tony, and I just wanted to share with y'all something I got with my parents. Okay, so, long story short, I am a retro fanatic. We have a Wii, a PS2, a PS1, a Super Nintendo Mini, a Sega Genesis Mini, and, what else? What else? What else? I always lose track. Not because I have so much stuff, but rather because I'm really forgetful. Give me a second, give me a second, give me a second. Okay, so PS1, PS2, the Wii, Mini Nintendo. Oh yeah, the Mini NES. That's what we also have. Ooh, the Game Boy SP that I have upstairs. Yeah, we have that. Okay. So the consoles I have right now are the Wii, PS2, PS1, then the end. Then we have the Sega Genesis Mini and the Super Nintendo Mini, and then I have a Game Boy Advance SP upstairs. But sad news, the charger kind of broke on me, so I'm gonna get a new one. Anyways, I'm a retro fanatic. That's all you need to know for this video, because in this video, I wanted to show you guys something that some people might know what it is, but some others might not know what it is. Basically, um, yesterday, so 2 days ago, my parents convinced me to go to Trader Bucks with them, which is where I got this little fella. It is a Panasonic mini cassette player. Now, for the modern, uncultured swine of today, kids won't know what these little things are. But I do, so let me explain it to you in the simplest of terms. Before we had phones that had Wi Fi and streaming and public videos, we had, well, not me, but older people of older generations had these cassette tapes. Let's say you wanted to listen to your favorite song. It's not a matter of turning on your phone, going to YouTube, searching up your song, plugging in your headphones, and, you know, listening to that song. No. For people back then, it was a matter of either buying a very expensive mini cassette player or buying one of those big ass cassette players, then going to the store hoping that they had their favorite song in cassette form, getting that cassette, and then playing it at home. So the process would be, for modern people, get a phone, make a YouTube account, listen to your favorite song. But the process for people back then would be get money. Well, I mean, you already have to do that, but what I mean by get money is, even now, these big ass cassette players are still very, very fucking expensive because of how old they are now, and nobody's producing them anymore. So yeah, but basically they'd have to get like hundreds of dollars, which is kind of like paying for a phone, but this one doesn't have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, a search engine. It's just made for playing cassettes. These little fellas. These little fellas are what stored our music back then. So here's the process. They'd go out, buy a big ass cassette player, find somewhere to put it in their house. It would be like this big. And they'd have to find somewhere to put it in their house. Then they'd go out again to get their cassette tape that they wanted. And then after getting their cassette tape, they'd pop it in, and then they could listen to music. Now, that's the rundown of cassettes. But the rundown of mini cassette players is this. So you all know what CDs and DVDs are, right? Because the modern generation, like even now, still uses discs for games. So here's the rundown. Before CDs, we had cassette tapes, and mini cassette players. What happened was, obviously, buying a big ass cassette player wasn't the best option. So, companies decided to turn it into a very small and compact cassette player that you could carry around in your pocket. The only problem was they were really fucking expensive. Like, back then, cramming something this big into something this small was revolutionary. So, of course, they wanted tons of money for it. Now, the most famous example of a mini cassette player is the Sony Walkman. But those shits today, those can go for like $1,000, even if they're used. Like a brand new one in box, $1,000. One without the box with something, just like a blank cassette, even it could be like $300. Only if you're get only if you get a damaged Sony Walkman will it be like $50 or something. Which coincidentally is how much we got this guy for. Now this guy has a record, rewind, fast forward, stop and play function like most cassettes back then. It has a port for your mic, it has a port for your earphones, and it has a port down here for, if you don't have batteries, you could just plug it here so it works. Now, basically, sorry, I'm sick. Basically, back then, many cassette players were like a luxury. If you had these, your family was rich. So, what ended up happening was people wanted to get in on that mini cassette player area of competition. So what they ended up doing was many people jumped on the train, like Panasonic, following in the steps of Sony. But then cassettes became outdated once CDs rolled along, and then the Sony Walkman evolved into the Sony Walkman that plays CDs only. And that was like this big. Like kind of like a dish plate, but not really. Like a toy dish plate. And so these things went out of style. But not me. So basically, how you would put your cassette tape in to listen to your music is this. You grab your cassette. There's side A, which is this, and there's side B, which is this. Now, fun fact, if you wanted to record a already recorded over tape, it wouldn't let you. Like, I have... Okay, before I explain, basically there's these two little holes on top of a cassette player, which are basically like sensors to say, hey, if you sense me, don't allow this tape to be recorded over. So if you put a tape with those holes in, then it won't let you push down the record button. Like, I'm trying to push down the record button right now, and it's not letting me. But that's more so because I have no tape in. So people figured out a really easy way to combat this. So like, this tape right here, it has like a ton of fucking music on it. The entire tape is filled with music that I don't know. And so to fill it up with my music, you have to do a little hack where you put tape over those two little holes, and that blocks the sensors entirely, allowing you to record. Now, I only have about 2 songs on this thing. One of them is Passing Through, and then the other one is From the Start, but like a rock version made by Good Kid. And yeah, I'm planning to put more, but for now that's all I have. Now, to play your music on this cassette player, if you had a Sony Walkman, you just press a button and it opened. But for not Walkman, because tiny cassette players like this, you'd open up like a door. And instead of pressing on the video to play your music, no, you have to choose what song you wanted to listen to via side A or side B. I have my music recorded on side B, so instead of putting it like this or like this, that's not how you do it. You gotta slide it up here in the door like this. Then you close it, and then you see these buttons on the side? The red button is obviously the record button. These two buttons right here are fast forward and rewind. This is the stop button to stop your tape entirely, and this is the play button. Now, also, a nice little plus I noticed was this pause button on the front of the cassette player, which to my knowledge, only like Walkmans and other cassette players just have a stop button, not an actual pause button. And on these sides, I mean this side, you have controls for what you want to do to the tape. Like this bottom one right here, I've, fucked around with it. And 1x means normal. Switch it up to 3 and it slows down the tape to like a like that. Although when I switched this top one, VAS, nothing really changed. Anyways, now you kids have it so easy these days listening to your music. If you wanted to start a song all over, all you have to do is grab the little red dot and drag it back in one swoop. Or you could just go 1, 2, 3 on the screen, so you'd rewind 20 seconds to get to that part of the song that you liked. Or same goes for fast forwarding. But back then, many cassette players didn't have that privilege of, being able to rewind in like 2 seconds. There was no video, so it could indicate what part you were on. Back then, cassette players had the rewind and fast forward function, yes, but it was very, very confusing at times. Like, for example, when me and my dad were recording our voices on this thing, because of how many songs there were on this cassette tape and because of how long this cassette tape was, it took us like a solid 4 minutes to find the part that we recorded in. That we recorded our voices. So yeah, if you're going to record your music on a cassette tape, make sure you know what order they are in before going, oh my god, where is it? But basically, when you want it to rewind or fast forward, you have to press this button. And it rolls the tape all the way back to the start. You have to wait for it to get all the way back to the start, no matter how impatient you are. Literally just sitting here until it is done. And now it's done. Now imagine that, but you already listened to your entirety of your tape, and now you need to rewind. That would take like an hour or so. To get back to the song to get back to the first song you listen to in your playlist nowadays, all you have to do is just swipe once or maybe swipe twice and then click on the top video and then hold the red dot and swipe it back once. This thing, if you listen to the entirety of the tape, you have to press rewind, set it down, and then just wait. Just wait. Wait for like fucking half an hour or something. Anyways, here are the songs that I recorded on this. I mentioned them earlier. I recorded Passing Through and From the Start on this. Listen. Now, gonna be honest, the microphone isn't actually that bad. So if you wanted to like make your cassette tape your main music thingy, you could do that, but it'd be kind of complicated to set up the music. Unless you have one of those transfer cords, then it'd be super easy. Anyways, this is Tony, out.